everyone, I am so excited today because I'm finally making root beer float soap. I used to make this one quite a bit. I absolutely loved it. Fell off my radar, but it's back on the radar. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make root beer float soap. So I have my base oils here. So I have olive, coconut, castor, mango, cocoa, and shea, and I'm going to be adding in some coconut milk. It is so creamy and dreamy. I love it so very much. So that's the first thing that's going to go in, and I over measured just a little bit, so I'm not going to scrape it out, and I'm going to be using it, measuring into it, my next batch. So I like to go ahead and get that blended in first. My lye solution has some lye lint, so we're going to go ahead and strain that off today. It's nice and cool. I'm soaping at room temperature. I mixed up my lye solution yesterday and the water is reduced, so it tends to get these little crusties, but we strain them off. No big deal, we move on. This batch is actually going to be split into 2 parts. Alright, so let's get it blended together. The fragrance oil I'm using today is going to turn this dark because it does have quite a high vanillin content. So it doesn't really need this color. However, when a soap is really dark discoloring, a fragrance, I really kind of like adding in something that's going to give it a base to start from. So this one is a mixture of, what are you? I think this is mocha brown and some copper penny from Nurture Handmade. Just needs a little bit, and I'll probably put some white in there as well, so just so that it kind of is creamier. Isn't that beautiful? I am going to go ahead and add in a little titanium dioxide though, so that it tends to be a little bit more creamy than just dark brown. The majority of that is for the top. I'm bringing in my molds so that those are ready to go. Just because of the way I'm planning on dolloping the white on the top, I just wanted to use individual molds. I only had 2, and so my son kind of whipped out, oh, he did it very quickly. He whipped out another mold for me, and it is all sanded down. These ones have real sharp corners, but this one is all sanded down. It's so nice. He did an amazing job. I'm so thankful for his skills. I'm so thankful that I can be like, I need a mold, and they're like, okay. Sometimes I have to wait several months, but sometimes I get them right away. Alright, so this is a very small usage rate, but it is a very strong one. And overall, this one too strong can go a little bit chemically. So I do think it goes well at a lower amount. And I don't remember it, I don't think it accelerates, but it does have some clove in it. My base gets a little thick at first because I do soap so cool. I'm actually a little bit warmer today at 68 in here. A lot of times it's just 62 or so. So I have learned how to work with my soaping oils. They do some weird things on occasion, but the end result is always the same. So I'm going to try to get these all fairly even. We'll see. We shall see. I probably should have attempted just to make a marker. I made it. I didn't think I was gonna make that pour. Yes, I definitely should have marked a line, but I'll just do my best here to make them fairly even. All right, what do we, I feel like there's plenty of soap still in the pot. This is going to be a taller bar. That's just the way it is, because I want it to have a decent amount in the base, but then it needs to be able to dollop. Alright, so let's look at this here. Looks like this one is fullest, followed by these two. I may have to pull some out, but we'll see what I've got left here in this pot. I do feel like this one needs the most of it all. And one will be for the sampler, so if it's a little bit different, it wouldn't be a huge deal. That's feeling pretty good now. Again, remember, this is not going to be this like milk chocolate pudding color. This is definitely going to go dark. I am going to use my spoon here to kind of make some deep divots. Seems like it's doing very nice. Don't want it just to be a straight. Sometimes it is, but I did not want a straight top this year. Alright, so I'm going to clean up and get ready for the topping. Okay, so for this next part, I'm just going to make a smaller batch of unscented white. I have my lye solution, my titanium dioxide here, and my coconut milk. So I am just going to get this to a fairly thick trace. Actually just at a light trace for now. It's going to move along fairly quickly. I thought what I would do is just pour a little bit so that those little dips and valleys, get a little bit of the white down in them for sure. And then I will have to wait until it is spoonable to do the rest. Alright, it's been 10 minutes or so. You can see how it's changed. It's still thin, but this is fine. I'm going to start by kind of doing a soft dollop around. I don't know how high this is going to be. I was kind of winging it on how much. So these batches together would be 180 ounces of oil. I did 150 for the bottom and another 50 for the top. So I just want to see how that's going to go. So I'm going to start by just, I mean, we're in pretty good shape for the dollops. And I guess you can't see at the moment. I just like the way a spoon dollop looks. Am I getting close to being in your sight yet? There we go. Anyway, I just love the look of a spoon dollop. So I'm going to start by just making a layer, and then hopefully I've planned enough to come back with another layer. It has been quite some time. I think the last time I made this was actually getting quite thicker as I go along here. The last time I made this was in Missouri, and I have been, and it wasn't even right away, and I've been here in Montana now for 3.5 years, so what am I doing? I don't even need to flip it around. That's not going to help you at all. These, yeah, this is about right. So I need to make sure they grab a little less soap because I don't need really big dollops at the moment. I just wanted to go a little different angle for you here. So fun. I also used to make one called Huckleberry Fluff when I was trying to get the Huckleberry done, but I wasn't authentically in the Huckleberry area. I used to do a rainbow one with a white fluffy topping. That was always so fun. Now I go a little bit more authentic with my Huckleberry colors. Alright, so I actually screwed this one up just a little bit, and so I kind of like though how it turned out, so I'm just gonna smoosh it up just a little bit. It's not a lot. Just kind of bring it in to the center a little bit, and then I think that looks great. Kind of gives it a little bit more, brings it into the center, I guess is what I'm, without really messing up too much of those dollops. Because it can look a little bit weird when they're just like all the dollops are all lined up. Okay, so here we have our new root beer float soaps. I think these turned out great. I am very pleased with the batch sizes that I did. I'm pleased with the dollops and how everything worked out. I am going to cover these up. They're going to come up to a higher temperature. They're going to gel. And then I'll be back in a couple of days to cut them. So won't it be fun to see what they look like? I'll see you then. All right, so we are back with our amazing root beer float soaps. And I have got to get them unmolded. And so the nice thing about this is I'm not going to have to split these batches. But I do have to unmold them all. Let's unmold one of these. All of them actually. We're not just going to stop. They seem so little. Ooh. That looks nice. Oh. Oh. It smells amazing. I see I've got some speckles. I don't love getting speckles on a vanilla type fragrance, but it is what it is. It's what happens. So here we have our beautiful root beer float soap. Oh, smells totally amazing. I just love this scent. I love it so much. My son fixed a root beer float the other day, and it smelled so very good, but I could not have any. Oh, it was amazing. Now the inside is going to be lighter. That's just part of what happens in the discoloration. Oh, that's cool. Doesn't that look nice? On top, it's just so floofy and cute. That is amazing. I love how the top turned out. I think I normally just have a real flat top with the brown before I put on the fluff, but I really like that. Very nice. So happy. I'm so happy. I do need to clean this off for sure. I just had a major oopsies. It happens to the best of us. This has only happened to me a couple of times in my entire soap making career, as it would be. But I went to heat up some oils and it was just a reheat. And I was also I also got my wax melter going, and so I just thought that the warmth that I was smelling was from my wax melter, but my oils got way too hot. It was just my hard oils, but it's a loss. It's a loss for sure. Anyway, my silicone spatula even melted within it. I don't even know, it went quick. It was not a long drawn out process, but it is what it is. Now I really expect this to get quite a bit darker than it is already, since it really has only been, oh gosh, I don't know when I made it at this point, but it's been a little bit of a busy weekend and week. So it's probably been about a week ago at this point. You can see that line there. And I really suspect it'll be at least that color. I did think it might go a little bit darker than that. So we will see. It's got a long cure ahead of it. So I just realized I have nowhere to put it on my shelf. Oh, I do have one open tray. I will have to consolidate some things, I think. Alright, let's cut this one, and then the other one will be the sampler size. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I really, really like how I rounded the top instead of just kind of leaving it kind of spiky, and it's burp, 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 burp. I don't know what I should be saying there, but I am just super pleased with how this one came out. I think it is just right. Just right. My goodness gracious. I don't even know what that was. There was a vibration in here of some sort, if you heard it. I still think I should still have 17 bars. Oh, this one is so little. I'll have to weigh this one. I think it should still be fine. Kind of some weird. Looks like I got my liner in fairly squared there, but very rounded on the other side. But it's fine. That's why I don't love working in the single molds. I just love using my splitter and splitting them, and then those edges are very squared. Now, if I had a silicone liner, that would probably help it a little bit, but I haven't had much luck with silicone liners. So for this one, it's just my single cutter from Bud's Wood Shop, and I will just cut these the entire loaf so you can see. I'll get a taller bar here to show you. Ooh, that one has just a wee little hole. You can see the size difference there, maybe. I hope. Hopefully there's no more holes. Shouldn't be. There was another hole. Interesting. Wonder what was different about this loaf. Must have been a smidgen thicker. Maybe it was the last one I poured. Okay, so here we have it. We have our root beer float soap. And I'm going to get them lined up on the curing rack. and they're going to continue to discolor. So it will all at least be this color that's on the edge, but it may still go a little bit darker now that it is fully exposed to the air. And it is going to evaporate its excess moisture. It's going to develop a crystalline structure, and it's just going to get amazing. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and a hype and leave me a comment. I love chatting with you. My products are available at moriversoap.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.